Don't waste your time reading science fiction. Do something more useful. Have you heard this or said this to someone? I must confess, I was one of them until I discovered and fell in love with The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Many of the things we take for granted today, mobile communication, satellites, the internet, remote work even, was first imagined and predicted by the science fiction writers. The writers then inspired in many cases the scientists and the artists. You must be wondering, why are we at Film Talk talking about science fiction writers? Because we have much to learn from them, but how you can manage change and transformations, especially when the ideas are radical. This time, let's look at the work of Arthur Clarke, a pioneering scientist and a futurist. Let's explore his predictions and imaginations in the space of work, workplace, and workforce. And more importantly, what business leaders and professionals can learn about managing change from science fiction writer. Here are Arthur Clarke's predictions and how it unfolded.
The big difference when he grows up, in fact, if we want to wait for the year 2001, is that he will have in his own house, not a computer as big as this, but at least a console through which he can talk to his friendly local computer and get all the information he needs for his everyday life, like his bank statements, his theater reservations, all the information you need in the course of living in a complex modern society. This will be in a compact form in his own house.
I'm thinking of the incredible breakthrough which has been made possible by developments in communications, particularly the transistor and, above all, the communications satellite. These things will make possible a world in which we can be in instant contact with each other, wherever we may be, where we can contact our friends anywhere on Earth, even if we don't know their actual physical location.
Section, you came in.
Hey, coming along great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, wait a minute. I can make a couple of phone calls. You go on ahead to the restaurant. I'll meet you there.
Right.
Hello. How are you, Squirt? What are you doing?
Playing.
Where's Mummy?
Gone to shopping.
Clarke understood something fundamental about you. Here are two quotes from him. First, he said, way back in 1982, that the only way to discover the limits of the possible is to go a little past them into the impossible. And in this era of unprecedented transformation, that insight is applicable even more. But how do you do this? How do you push past what is immediately possible? Arthur Clarke and other science fiction writers have a powerful technique for this. We ourselves have used it in our work with clients on change and transformation. And if done just right, it works. The science fiction writers made change and the future accessible by packaging them as an imaginary event in the future. It creates a safe space in the present without hijacking the mind about how will I do this? Where are the resources? How will this affect me? Frame the change or the transformation as a just imagine scenario. Just imagine in the future that this change and whatever the change that you're dealing with has happened. Invite teams to think about what will it look like? What will they hear? What will they see? What will they experience? This gives people that momentary pause and distance to envision possibility, which are as a pro tip. Make it inviting and not intimidating. As Arthur Clarke rightly observed, new ideas pass through three periods. First, can't be done. Second, probably can be done, but it's not worth doing it. And third is when people turn around and say, I knew it was a good idea all along. Sounds familiar? That is the pattern most change interventions follow.
And yet even greater changes are still to come, because the future is not merely an extension of the present with bigger and better machines and cities and gadgets. It will be fundamentally different.
Taking people into the future and allowing them to explore how this change might play out creates that space and momentum where transformation becomes a possibility.